This page is the vibrant November 1995 cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, featuring a striking image of a winged, centaur-like creature. The main headline boldly proclaims that SNK titles, Night Warriors, Darkstalker's Revenge, referred to as Hunter, and Virtua Fighter 2, are leading the way in fighting games. The cover teases exciting scoops on major upcoming titles like Virtua Fighter 2, Dragon Force, Sega Rally Championship, Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, Guardian Heroes, Virtua Cop, and the Saturn port of Lunar, Silver Story. Other featured games include Dark Savior, Birth's Theme Park, Quo Vadis, Snatcher, Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, and Galaxy Fight. Universal Warriors. For strategy guides, the issue covers games like World Advanced Daizenryaku, Datana, Twin Bee Yahoo, Deluxe Pack, and Shining Wisdom. Special bonuses mentioned include large posters and CD jackets for games such as Golden Axe, The Duel, Night Warriors, Darkstalker's Revenge, and Metal Fighter Miku. Vertical text on the right side highlights the confirmation of powerful SNK ports, the introduction of the highly anticipated Sakura Wars, and the appearance of Night Warriors, Darkstalker's Revenge. The cover promises features filled with ecstasy, astonishment, and content demanding attention. This page is an advertisement for two major Sega Saturn sports titles slated for release. On the left, you see Nomo appears, prominently featuring pitcher Hideo Nomo of the Los Angeles Dodgers, announcing Hideo Nomo World Series Baseball. The ad highlights that this is a renewed Major League version, utilizing texture maps and polygons for realistic graphics. It boasts, including all 28 MLB teams with real player names, including Nomo himself, and promises a faithful reproduction of playoffs and the World Series with realistic English commentary. Screenshots show the action from different camera angles on the field. On the right side, the focus shifts to soccer with Sega International Victory Goal. The ad shows a dynamic globe surrounded by flags, representing the 12 international teams featured in the game, such as England, France, Brazil, and Japan. It's described as a renewed version with an international match format, enhanced player actions, and more realistic gameplay, sound effects, and background music, creating an immersive atmosphere. Screenshots show gameplay moments on the pitch. Both games are listed with their planned release dates and prices, positioning them as key releases for the Sega Saturn in late 1995. This page is a vibrant advertisement showcasing Puyo Puyo 2 for the Sega Saturn. The artwork features the main character, Arle Nadja, along with her companion Carbuncle and the series' iconic Puyo blobs in various shapes and colors, all centered around a large metallic 2. The ad highlights several key points about this version. It promises a significant version up, suggesting enhanced gameplay or features compared to previous iterations. It also excitingly mentions including footage of live scenes from the Masters Tournament, adding a unique element for fans. Furthermore, it notes the inclusion of a song by Tanaka Katsumi. Published by Compile, Puyo Puyo 2 is scheduled for release in October 1995, with a preliminary price of 4,800 yen, excluding tax. This ad positions it as a major release for the Saturn, bringing the popular puzzle series to the platform, with notable improvements and bonus content. This page features a double dose of high-octane racing action for the Sega Saturn. On the left, you've got a deep dive into F1 Live information, a licensed Formula One game for the '95 season. The ad showcases stunning polygon graphics with multiple camera views, including a detailed cockpit perspective. It highlights realistic gameplay features like tire and fuel management, strategic depth, and even boasts live commentary from real Japanese Fry 1 personalities. You can race on iconic tracks like Suzuka, Monte Carlo, and Hockenheim, driving cars from official teams like Williams and Tyrrell. This game is shaping up to be a serious sim for Fly 1 fans. Set to arrive on November 2nd. Over on the right is Hang On Jeep 95, bringing Sega's classic motorcycle racing franchise to the Saturn. This section emphasizes the exhilarating rider's view, allowing you to master power slides and cornering in true hang-on style. The game features polygon visuals and supports various viewpoints, modes like Time Trial and GP, and even includes a replay function to analyze your runs. It promises that unique feel of controlling a motorcycle, partly guided by advice from pro rider Katayama Noriyuki. Hang On Jeep 95 was set for release a bit earlier on October 27. Both titles support the Sega Saturn racing controller, which is also pictured, alongside the console itself. It's clear Sega was pushing hard into racing realism on the Saturn with these two titles. This page unveils the full details of Quo Vadis, an SF simulation RPG for the Sega Saturn. The spread features striking anime-style character artwork and screenshots that give you a look at the strategic gameplay and 3D environments. The game is pitched with a dramatic premise. Why must friends fight each other? Suggesting a deep story with conflicting loyalties. Quo Vadis promises a lengthy, emotional scenario and boasts character designs from acclaimed illustrator Mika Akitaka. Gameplay involves a mix of strategic simulation with map movement and combat, featuring both 2D animation and 3D CG scenes. It also includes impressive animated cutscenes using the latest digital movie technology and features narration and a luxurious cast of voice actors. You follow the journey of the protagonist, Hal, as he progresses from a cadet to a general. Quo Vadis was slated for release on December 21, 1995, priced at 6,800 yen. The page also mentions related media like a radio drama and a planned character calendar. This page features 3 exciting upcoming releases for the Sega Saturn, all hitting stores in late 1995. On the left, we see Tomesh King, The Spirits, a full-polygon 3D racing game focused on realistic mountain passes. The game prides itself on recreating famous routes like Hakone and Otorumi with authentic physics simulation, allowing players to tune their car's engine, tires, and suspension for the ultimate challenge. It includes various modes like Versus Mode and Time Trial, promising a deep and realistic racing experience exclusively on the Sega Saturn. The right side showcases 2 more diverse titles. First up is Gunbird, a vibrant vertical scrolling shooter that was a hit in arcades. This port brings the colorful action and fantastical world, created by character designer Akira Nakamura, to the Sega Saturn and PlayStation. It features new modes like a story mode and a console-exclusive mode alongside the arcade experience. Finally, we get a look at Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, a significant role-playing game from Atlas. Leveraging the Sega Saturn's power, it presents a blend of 2D field exploration and full-polygon 3D dungeons. The game boasts a massive roster of over 300 demons, based on world myths and legends, plus brand-new original designs, all integral to the series' signature demon negotiation and fusion mechanics. This entry looks set to continue the dark and compelling narrative style the series is known for. This page features the exciting arrival of Virtua Fighter on the Super 32X. The main headline expresses surprise and wonder, asking if Virtua Fighter is really possible on the 32X, highlighting the technical achievement. The page showcases the game with several screenshots displaying the 3D polygon graphics and characters in action. It promotes the game's features, boasting the 32-bit power of the Super 32X, allowing for the impressive arcade experience at home. Key modes like Arcade Mode, Saturn Step Mode, and a 32X Original Tournament Mode for up to 8 players are mentioned. The ability to view gameplay from 5 different camera angles is also highlighted, suggesting players can study techniques. The page notes the upcoming anime adaptation based on Virtua Fighter, starting in October. Finally, it provides the release date of October 20th and the price for the 32X software. There's also a small section briefly mentioning the Super 32X hardware itself. This page presents the arrival of the J.B. Harold Murder Club series entry, Chicago Blues, on the Sega Saturn. The striking headline proclaims that this mystery adventure will shake the console, leveraging its power for high-quality video and sound. Players step into the shoes of a detective investigating a series of murders in Chicago, facing a deepening mystery and working against a limited time frame to uncover clues and catch the killer. The visuals feature a dramatic close-up of an eye, with a knife reflection and a splash of blood, alongside images of a trench-coated detective and the Chicago skyline. The game boasts over 100 minutes of live-action footage filmed on location in Chicago and Hollywood, featuring 29 actors and spanning 17 locations. It highlights high-quality visuals tailored for the game and professional Japanese voice acting, promising a cinematic experience. The game is noted as being available now on 2 Chronodroms. The next page showcases Burning Pro Yaku 95, Doubleheader, a Sega Saturn baseball title promising realistic action. It highlights character models created with 3D tools, featuring detailed polygon counts and realistic CG rendering. The game offers multiple camera perspectives, including batter view and pitcher view, with automatic switching for realism. A key feature is the integration of BBM, Baseball Magazine, player data, adding depth and realism to the gameplay. The presentation is enhanced with realistic production, including announcer voices and crowd sounds, handled by well-known Japanese broadcasters. The page also includes a side ad for Idol Mahjong Suchiapai Remix, a limited edition remix version of the popular Mahjong game. It features character designs by Kenichi Sonoda and boasts popular voice actors for its characters. This remix version is noted as being available now and is rated for players 18 and older. The next page features two distinct sections. On the left, we have the Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Series, showcasing CG art of Akira Yuki and Pai-chan. This is an announcement for volumes 3 and 4 of the series, set for a November 10th release, priced at 1,280 yen each. Smaller images preview other characters and related vocal albums or products, highlighting the extended multimedia presence of the Virtua Fighter franchise. The right side introduces The King of Boxing, a polygonal boxing title for the Sega Saturn, from Victor Entertainment. This game is highlighted as the Saturn's first polygon boxing game, promising smooth motion and dynamic camera angles. It features modes like a main mode for challenging various opponents, and a debut mode, where players can create and develop their own boxer. The page includes screenshots showing character creation options and in-ring gameplay. The King of Boxing was released on October 20th. This page is packed with game announcements for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we see America U Medan Ultra Quiz, a quiz game based on the famous Japanese cross-country quiz show. It boasts over 10,000 questions, hosted by a well-known announcer, and features different modes like challenge, battle, training, and data analysis, simulating the journey across America. It's set to release on October 27th for 5,800 yen. The top right introduces Metal Fighter Miku, a super visual simulation battle game based on the popular anime series about female professional wrestlers with robotic enhancements. It features a dramatic 6-episode structure and promises a visually impressive battle experience with its cast of unique characters like Miku and Jinga. Below that, there's an announcement for Sea Bass Fishing, a realistic fishing simulation game coming in late December for 5,800 yen. It offers tournament and free fishing modes, using 3D polygons for realistic fish, and boasts supervision from a pro angler. This page is the November 1995 cover and contents spread for Saturn Fan Magazine. The striking cover art features the quirky characters and transforming vehicles of the game Steam Gear MASH, highlighting its diverse environments and action. Inside, the contents page reveals major news for Saturn owners, including the exciting confirmation of powerful SNK fighting game ports like the King of Fighters 95 and Darkstalkers coming to the system, plus an urgent announcement about the highly anticipated Sakura Wars. The page also details Steam Gear MASH, describing it as a unique multi-genre action title, where the hero MASH can transform into various forms for land, sea, and air gameplay, use items for special abilities, and engage in different minigames. This promising title from Takara is already on sale. This page makes a massive announcement. SNK fighting game ports are officially coming to the Sega Saturn. Front and center is the news confirming both the King of Fighters 95 and Fatal Fury 3 are planned for release. The page features striking artwork of Iori Yagami from King of Fighters and character art, and screenshots from both featured titles, showing off the action fans can expect. Interviews with managers from both SNK and Sega shed light on the decision. They explained that a cross-licensing agreement was reached, driven by strong user demand for SNK games on the Saturn. Both companies express excitement about the partnership, seeing it as a way to expand the software lineup and benefit players. They hint that more SNK titles could follow, promising exciting times ahead for fighting game fans on the Saturn. This page delivers exciting news for fighting game fans on the Sega Saturn. Capcom's sequel, Darkstalkers Revenge, known as Vampire Hunter in Japan, is officially coming. The release date is locked for late December, and there's high anticipation for Capcom's ability to deliver a top-notch port. The page features impressive artwork of the game's logo and new characters Donovan Bane and Hisienko, alongside screenshots showing off the monstrous combatants in action. The article highlights the game's roots as a successful arcade title, praising its fluid animation, detailed movesets, and technical elements like combos and guard cancels that appeal to hardcore fighting game players, while also mentioning features like the auto guard system, designed to help newcomers. It confirms that Darkstalkers Revenge builds upon the foundation of the first game, while introducing new elements and characters, most notably Donovan and Hisienko. The developers are pushing hard for an arcade-perfect conversion on the Saturn. Reporting development is progressing smoothly. The goal is to create a port that fully satisfies players who enjoyed the arcade version. The page also touches on future possibilities, hinting that with the Saturn's power, We could see more high-quality Capcom fighting game ports down the line, following the success of titles like Street Fighter Alpha 2. Get ready for a monstrous fight this holiday season. This page brings us major news from Sega. They are teaming up with Red Company to release a huge new title, Sakura Wars. An announcement that made everyone realize just how serious Sega was getting. The page prominently features the game's heroine, Sakura Shinguji, in her distinctive uniform, alongside an image of one of the impressive Kubu mechs from the game. It's revealed to be an adventure game coming to the Sega Saturn in spring 1996. The article highlights the immense enthusiasm from the development staff, including comments from the series creator and producer Oji Hiroi, renowned character designer Kosuke Fujishima, and the voice actress for Sakura. They discuss the unique blend of genres, the game's Taishu-era setting, and their passion for creating a rich world and compelling characters, promising an ambitious and exciting experience unlike anything seen before. This page continues the deep dive into Sakura Wars, highlighting its unique blend of adventure game, AVG, and simulation game, SLG, systems. Players experience the story through the AVG part, where choices affect character relationships, then transition to the SLG part for tactical mech combat. The setting is the vibrant, slightly steampunk imperial capital Tokyo during the Taisho era, where demons threaten the city, and the secret Imperial Assault Force, specifically the Flower Division, stands as humanity's defense. The page introduces the protagonist, Ichiro Ogami, a young Navy ensign assigned to lead the all-female Flower Division, composed of unique and powerful women. Character profiles for key members like Sakura Shinguji, Sumire Kanzaki, Maria Tachibana, Kana Kirishima, Koharan Ri, and Iris are shown, detailing their appearances and hinting at their personalities and abilities, contrasting their everyday looks with their battle attire. The powerful, spiritual energy-fueled mechs, known as Kubu, are prominently featured with screenshots of their 3D models, emphasizing their crucial role in the tactical combat segments. The importance of music is also stressed, noting that series creator Oji Hiroi is involved in creating 11 songs, including the opening theme, to enhance the game's emotional impact. This page provides an exciting follow-up report on Virtua Fighter 2 for the Sega Saturn, showcasing the progress made since its last appearance at an arcade show. It highlights significant improvements aimed at bringing the home version closer to its arcade counterpart. Key enhancements discussed include the addition of various in-game text displays like Ready, Set, and Continue, making the experience feel more authentic. Character models have also seen a quality boost, with specific praise given to Pei-chan and Kagemaru for looking more detailed and faithful to the arcade. Crucially, the page confirms the implementation of hit detection, a vital component for accurate and strategic gameplay, noting that this system is still being refined. The bulk of the page is dedicated to introducing the signature techniques of the game's 10 characters. While all are mentioned, the page focuses on 4: Akira Yuki, Lion Rafale, Pai-chan, and Shundai. Numerous screenshots illustrate various powerful moves for each fighter, giving players a glimpse of the dynamic combat they can expect. The overall tone suggests the developers are making strong strides towards a highly anticipated and faithful port. The next page continues the deep dive into Virtua Fighter 2 on the Sega Saturn, picking up with detailed looks at the remaining 6 characters: Jackie Bryant, Wolf Hawkfield, Jeffrey McWild, Kagemaru, Sarah Bryant, and Lao-chan. Numerous screenshots showcase their signature moves and combinations. Commentary highlights the progress made on character models since earlier previews, noting improvements in accuracy and detail, although some are still described as prototypes undergoing refinement. The text points out key moves and observations about each fighter's representation on the Saturn. A significant feature is an urgent interview with Kenji Okayasu, the development chief at AM2 Lab. He provides insight into the ongoing development process for the Saturn version. Key discussion points include the complex task of fine-tuning hit detection, refining camera systems, and overcoming technical hurdles to achieve a smooth frame rate and high-quality character models. Okayasu discusses the challenges specific to adapting the arcade graphics to the Saturn and confirms that the team is working diligently to make the home version as faithful as possible while adding new features like a watch mode. The interview conveys the dedication behind the port and the anticipation for its completion. The next page provides a comprehensive follow-up report on Dragon Force, focusing intently on the game's newly revealed nations, intricate character settings, and captivating worldview. Described as a real-time fantasy simulation RPG, The game challenges players to control a nation, manage domestic affairs, and engage in large-scale battles featuring up to 100 units per side. The article highlights the strategic depth required to make swift and accurate judgments. A significant portion of the page is dedicated to showcasing the latest visual scenes, emphasizing their beauty and the promise of over 100 such scenes included in the game, enhancing events during field movement or domestic affairs. Notable characters like Tyrus, the elf, and Wayne are featured in stunning portraits. The sheer scale of the battles is underlined with screenshots depicting the intense 100 versus 100 combat, where players can issue commands and unleash powerful special moves, although visuals do not interrupt the battle itself. Further visuals include glimpses of the world map, character menus, and dramatic event scenes, offering a detailed look into the rich world and narrative that players will experience. The page strongly conveys the visual and strategic appeal of Dragon Force. This page dives deeper into the world of Dragon Force, providing a detailed introduction to the game's 8 distinct nations and their rulers. A world map is featured, marking the location of each kingdom. The article highlights the complex human relationships and scenarios that unfold throughout the game, emphasizing how character interactions and story events significantly influence the battlefield and overall strategy. Each of the 8 nations is presented with details on its state structure, its ruler, and some of its key soldiers, complete with portraits. We see the heroic King Wayne of the stable Highland Kingdom, the ambitious Emperor Goldark of the vast Fandaria Empire, the serene Queen Tyrus of the Elven Moon Palace, the samurai-like King Mikazuchi of Izumo, the mysterious King Reynard of the magic-focused Tradnor, King Leon of the merchant nation of Tobar Shaz, the mighty King Gongos of the beastly Bozak tribe, and King Juno of Tristan, who stands against Fandaria. This section clearly shows the diverse factions and personalities that populate the continent of Legendra, underscoring the rich world-building that makes Dragon Force so engaging. This page unveils the latest look at Sega Rally Championship, focusing on its progress and transfer quality to the Saturn. The article highlights that the game is currently 55% complete, but already shows high-quality visuals that impress. It introduces the 2 main game modes: the Arcade Faithful arcade mode, where you race through courses challenging for the championship, and the Saturn-exclusive Time Attack mode, where players can freely run through tracks, aiming for the fastest times. The page showcases various courses like desert, mountain, and forest, detailing visual points of interest such as cheering spectators, challenging terrain, and dynamic elements like helicopters. Screenshots demonstrate the game's realistic graphics, car selection screen, course selection, and the detailed in-game display, including time and position. The content emphasizes the excitement for this highly anticipated arcade port, noting how well it replicates the original arcade experience, while adding new features like the Time Attack mode. This page previews the 55% complete Sega Rally Championship, highlighting its arcade accuracy, high-quality visuals, and new Time Attack mode. This article explores the challenging courses of Sega Rally Championship on the Sega Saturn, showcasing 3 tracks and featuring developer insights. The Forest course offers an intermediate challenge with tight turns and varied environments. Lakeside, an advanced track, combines stunning scenery with difficult racing conditions. The Mountain course, also advanced, presents winding roads and urban sections that test players' skills. An interview with Katsumi Nakamura, the game's director, reveals his role in planning the Saturn-exclusive content, particularly the Time Attack mode. Nakamura highlights the team's commitment to realistic car handling and setting, aiming for authentic rally experiences where players can feel nuanced car control, especially the satisfaction of mastering slides and countersteering. The article also hints at future additions, such as more cars. This page dives into the systems of Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner. The article highlights the game's unique features, starting with the computer interface used by the protagonist, the Devil Summoner. This device is crucial for gameplay, especially for its auto-mapping function, which automatically records your progress through dungeons, a lifesaver for exploring complex areas. Movement through the world is presented in 3 varying perspectives. While previous pages showed the 3D dungeons and a world map, this page introduces the 2D field view, offering a top-down perspective for navigating between key locations like cities and dungeons. You can seamlessly transition between the 2D field and the first-person 3D dungeon perspective when entering buildings or specific areas. The article also gives us a sneak peek at the bustling Aerocross Ginza district. This area acts as a central hub, filled with various facilities essential for adventure. You'll find shops to buy necessary gear, recovery spots to heal your party, and other vital locations to prepare for your journeys. The screenshots showcase the distinct look of this urban environment, adding to the game's atmosphere. It's clear the developers are focusing on providing players with helpful tools and varied environments to explore. This page explains Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner's battle system, demon loyalty, control levels, visual effects, and bad status conditions. This page dives deeper into the battle system of Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, emphasizing strategic depth and the crucial role of demon relationships. The combat presentation shifts to a more visual approach, showing enemies directly on screen and allowing players to lock onto targets. The article details various bad status effects that can impact combatants, illustrating conditions like bind, stone, and charm with accompanying artwork. A unique system introduced is Vice, tied to demon personalities, where players can delegate actions based on their demon's nature. Central to the demon interaction is the loyalty system. A demon's loyalty dictates how much control the player has over their actions, ranging from basic go commands at low loyalty to specific skill and magic usage at higher control levels. Screenshots show instances of demons boycotting commands when loyalty is low. Combat utilizes a party formation system, often shown as 2 columns. The page also showcases the visually impressive magic effects, with dynamic screenshots of spells like Bufula and Mahajionga. Finally, a short historical segment touches upon Shin Megami Tensei 2. This page highlights the game's complex systems designed to make demon management and combat highly engaging and strategic. This page features the Sega Saturn title Guardian Heroes, prominently highlighting its completed opening sequence and the much-anticipated versus mode. The article emphasizes the game's unique selling point: Chowdic battles supporting up to 6 players simultaneously. Key combat mechanics are introduced, including the innovative 3-line system for movement, defensive maneuvers like guarding and countering, and aerial options like double jumps. The opening sequence is showcased with dynamic character portraits featuring main heroes like the Undead Hero, Serena, Han, Randy, and others, promising an exciting animated introduction. Screenshots capture the intensity of the 6-player versus battles, demonstrating how multiple characters and enemies can fill the screen. The page also briefly introduces some unique enemy types and comments on the seamless character animations and flashy special moves, solidifying its status as a major fighting game contender. This page is all about the highly anticipated Sega Saturn port of Virtua Cop, showcasing how faithfully it recreates the arcade experience. The article highlights the game's imminent release and promises new screenshots proving the Saturn version is packed with content and graphical detail. It proudly displays the opening demo, noting its accurate recreation from the arcade, complete with dynamic camera work and character appearances, including the iconic VCPD car. The page features various screenshots showing the stage select screen, the game's title screen, the essential gun calibration menu, and even the satisfying damage effects when you hit targets. The main focus shifts to the action-packed Stage 2, set in a quarry or mining area. Screenshots show vehicles involved in the action and dense enemy layouts, emphasizing the intense gun battles. Finally, the fearsome Boss King makes an appearance, with images detailing the challenging encounter and the need for quick reflexes. The article confidently states the Saturn version delivers the full Virtua Cop thrill. This page dives deep into the upcoming Sega Saturn port of Lunar, the Silver Star, keeping fans updated on its development. It highlights how the Saturn version represents a rebirth for the classic RPG, showcasing new screenshots that clearly demonstrate a significant graphical leap over the original Sega CD release, featuring detailed environments like the world map and dungeon areas. The page also features stunning illustration boards by Toshiyuki Sato, focusing on the vibrant town of Araris. These concepts go beyond mere locations, illustrating the daily lives and personalities of its inhabitants, including detailed depictions of a bustling tavern and various townsfolk going about their jobs. This focus on detail aims to create a truly living world for the player to explore. Furthermore, the article includes an interview with the scenario writer, Takafumi Sogu. He reveals that while set in the same world, the Saturn version boasts a completely new scenario, offering a fresh experience even for those familiar with the original. He discusses the focus on enhancing the presentation and sticking to the core principles of RPGs, emphasizing the creation of believable characters whose actions feel natural to their personalities, rather than being dictated purely by the plot. It's clear the Saturn release isn't just a port, but a reimagining, with new depth. This page is all about the Sega Saturn port of Virtua Racing, taking the acclaimed Polygon Racer from the arcade and giving it a significant boost. The game arrives on Saturn packed with extra content, expanding on the original with more machines, courses, and game modes. A major addition is the original Grand Prix mode, offering a new way to play beyond the arcade experience. Crucially, the Saturn version introduces 7 entirely new courses, bringing the total well beyond the arcade's tracks. These new circuits feature diverse environments, from the futuristic cityscape of Metropolis and the challenging curves of Diablo Canyon, to the scenic Amazon Falls and the snowy heights of Alpine. Each course has its own unique feel and visual flair, making simply driving around an enjoyable experience. Furthermore, players aren't limited to just the Fru-1 car. You can aim for victory using one of 5 different vehicle types, including the high-performance F1, the balanced GTP, the beginner-friendly go-kart, a classic 60s-style F1 car, and a coupe. This variety ensures different racing styles are catered to, making the Saturn version a much more robust package than previous home ports. This page dives into the world of soccer management simulation on the Sega Saturn, with a game where you create and run your very own J-League club. The goal is simple: lead your team to victory in the J-League Championship. The game puts you in the shoes of a club manager, handling all aspects of the operation on a monthly basis. You'll manage facilities, set the budget, deal with personnel, and crucial player development. All 14 J-League teams and their players appear with their real names, adding to the authenticity. A major focus is strengthening your squad. You can give players detailed training instructions based on their performance, and even send them for overseas training in one of 8 different countries, including football powerhouses like Italy, Brazil, and Argentina. Each country offers specialized training, focusing on different skills like defense, offense, or technique, allowing you to tailor player development to your strategy. You also get to choose a hometown for your club from over 500 Japanese cities, each having unique parameters that influence aspects like attendance. You can even customize your club's name and uniform. The game presents match results through highlight scenes, letting you see key moments. It's a deep simulation of running a professional soccer club. This page features an in-depth look at the upcoming Mobile Suit Gundam action game for the Sega Saturn, presented as recreating the world of the original series with action and story. The article highlights the game's attempt to bring the classic anime to life, focusing on the human drama and memorable characters like Char Aznable, Garma Zabi, and Ramba Ral. Gameplay is described as a horizontal scrolling action game that incorporates depth, allowing players to move into the background and foreground to avoid attacks from Zeon forces. Key systems include the new type attack, which acts as an auto-aim function allowing players to lock onto targets automatically, and a support system, where friendly units like the gun cannon and gun tank can provide assistance. The article previews the first 4 stages, drawing directly from famous moments in the anime. Gundam standing on the Earth, Garma scatters, the Perilous entering the atmosphere, and Ramba Ral's special attack. Each stage showcases screenshots featuring iconic mobile suits, such as the Gundam, Zaku, and Goof, often accompanied by text quoting memorable lines from the series. The presentation aims to evoke nostalgia and excitement for fans of the original Mobile Suit Gundam. This page provides a follow-up report on the upcoming Sega Saturn title, Dark Savior. It reveals details about the game's opening sequence and showcases a wealth of new screenshots, indicating development is progressing. The article highlights the game's ambitious structure, promising over 100 different endings based on player actions, setting it apart with a deeply branching narrative. It introduces the protagonist, Ryuya, a skilled bounty hunter tasked with transporting a dangerous villain named Bilan to the notorious Jailer's Island, a remote prison facility for both criminals and monsters. The story kicks off with an unexpected event during this transport. Screenshots depict the game's isometric perspective, showing combat, environmental traversal with platforming elements across varied locations within Jailer's Island, and glimpses of the narrative unfolding. The article also introduces key characters, including Cherry Mana, a mysterious figure whose purpose is unknown, and Snakebird, a bioweapon companion to Ryuya who assists with item management and provides helpful hints. The report notes that development is currently around 55% complete, with suggestions that further graphical improvements might be on the way, building anticipation for the game's release. This page dives into the Sega Saturn title, F1 Live Information, which promises more than just standard polygon racing. Its main draw is the unique real-time commentary and a live window that provides race information tailored to the player's situation, making the experience feel more dynamic and immersive. The game features different modes, including a Grand Prix mode with the signature live features, and a time attack mode. Players can select from 5 real-world Formula One teams like Benetton, Williams, Ferrari, McLaren, and Tyrrell, featuring drivers such as Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen. There are also 6 courses available, including iconic tracks like Monte Carlo and Suzuka, alongside original designs. Players can even tune their car's setup before hitting the track. The screenshots highlight the various camera views and the crucial live window feature, showing how it reacts to events like pitting, bringing the race to life with real voices providing the commentary. It looks like a promising free one sim for the time, heavily emphasizing presentation and real-time feedback. This page previews Sega International Victory Goal, a soccer game featuring realistic polygon players, multiple game modes, and varied camera angles for an engaging experience. This page introduces Sega International Victory Goal for the Sega Saturn, a significant step up from the previous J-League title. The game now features 12 international teams, promising exciting global competition. Players can enjoy 5 distinct modes including Exhibition, a World League, Cup Tournament, and even a PK shootout. The game emphasizes realistic player movements and simple controls suitable for beginners and experts alike, with 3 different control styles. Gameplay improvements include enhanced defense AI and smoother player actions. Offensive play focuses on quick passing and powerful shots, while defense highlights the effective use of tackles and sliding tackles. The game boasts 12 different camera angles, allowing players to find their preferred view, and includes robust replay features to relive impressive goals from various perspectives. 12 world powers, including Japan, Brazil, Italy, and Germany, are available to play, each with their own unique formations. This page features a preview of Darius Gaiden for the Sega Saturn, hailed as the series' strongest port. Following Taito's previous arcade conversion, this SHMUP is praised for its high-quality rendition. The article highlights the completion of the game's original content, emphasizing the deep gameplay and unique world design. The current version features approximately 1/3 of the total 28 zones. 5 specific zones, K, L, M, N, and O, are detailed, showcasing diverse environments from satellite orbits to volcanic planets and abandoned colonies. Key bosses like Dual Sheeter and Fatty Glutton are mentioned, with notes on their different attack patterns across zones. The preview also comments on the faithful recreation of the arcade's powerful presentation, including visual effects and dynamic stage transitions, suggesting the Saturn port lives up to the arcade original's reputation. This page previews the Sega Saturn game, Godzilla Reto Shinkan, a real-time simulation where players command the Japanese self-defense force against a chaotic onslaught of giant monsters. The objective is to defend Japan's cities from destruction by strategically deploying military units. The game features a wide array of iconic monsters from different eras of the Godzilla franchise, including various forms of Godzilla himself, King Ghidorah, and Gyarus, both the Showa and Heisei versions of Mechagodzilla, Mothra in both larval and adult forms, and Mogera. Players will utilize familiar vehicles and mecha from the films, such as the Super X. The preview highlights the strategic gameplay on detailed city maps and mentions the inclusion of CG movie sequences, promising an exciting simulation experience for fans of the giant monster genre. This page dives into the classic puzzle game Puyo Puyo 2, highlighting its arrival on the Sega Saturn. This version builds upon the arcade hit, bringing enhanced features to home consoles. The core gameplay remains the same, matching 4 or more connected Puyo of the same color to clear them, aiming to send garbage Puyo to your opponent's field. Key additions in the 2 version are detailed, significantly deepening the strategy. Players can now see the next 2 upcoming Puyo sets, allowing for better planning. New techniques like the all-clear bonus and the crucial counter ability, which lets you send incoming garbage Puyo back to your opponent by making your own chain, are explained. The quick turn feature is also added, making piece manipulation faster. The content emphasizes that simply making long chains is no longer enough. Mastering counters is essential for victory. The single-player experience is greatly expanded. The solo Puyo Puyo mode features a practice mode and a comprehensive normal mode, where you battle through multiple floors against a large roster of opponents, including characters new to the Saturn version. The magazine also notes the inclusion of character-specific anime cutscenes, adding personality to the matches. This page delves into the intricate world of Princess Maker 2 on the Sega Saturn, a unique simulation game focused on raising a daughter over 8 years. The core gameplay revolves around increasing your daughter's various stats and abilities through a detailed schedule of part-time jobs and education. The magazine explains how different jobs like working on a farm or in a bar, and educational classes like natural science, combat training, or magic, impact her physical, intellectual, social, and combat skills. While the detailed tables show the specific parameter changes for each activity, the key takeaway is the depth of customization available in shaping her future. Visitors also appear periodically to offer guidance and support. A major draw highlighted is the staggering number of potential outcomes, with over 70 different endings depending on how you raise your daughter. The page teases several possibilities, showcasing character portraits for various adult professions and life paths, from becoming a princess, soldier, or scholar, to more unique roles like a fortune teller or dancer. Each featured ending comes with a brief description of the path taken, and a difficulty rating indicated by stars, suggesting some futures are harder to achieve than others. Screenshots of different in-game locations like the farm or the dance studio illustrate where these activities occur. This page shifts focus slightly to highlight the impending Sega Saturn release of Princess Maker 2. Boasting enhanced graphics and featuring over 100 speaking characters. Continuing the popular simulation series on the new hardware, the central section introduces Ranking Street, a feature within the Kingdom of Saturn area. This combines sales data with reader submissions to create a unique ranking system, aiming to provide useful information beyond just raw sales figures. The main ranking covers Sega Saturn, Super 32X, and Mega Drive/Mega CD titles, based on sales from August 1st to 31st. Shining Wisdom takes the top spot on the Saturn chart, praised for its action RPG gameplay and the inclusion of the legendary Shining Sword. Magic Knight Rayearth follows at number 2, a popular adaptation of the anime series. Other notable games appearing in the top 10 include Virtua Fighter Remix, I Love Basketball, and the visual novel D of the Dinner. Separate, smaller rankings are also shown for Super 32X and Mega Drive/Mega CD sales, featuring titles like Virtua Racing, Stella Assault, Three Kingdoms IV, and Doom. The rankings highlight the current best-selling titles on Sega's platforms at the time. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, but shifts focus from sales data to rankings based on reader reviews and scores for Sega Saturn games. A table lists the top titles according to reader judges, with Magic Knight Rayearth taking the top spot, followed by Graduation 2, Neo Generation, and Shining Wisdom. Notably, Suikoden Tenmei no Chikai a tactical RPG, scores unexpectedly high among readers. The page dedicates significant space to feedback on Magic Knight Rayearth, through Sweet Whispers and Painful Murmurs sections. Reader comments praise the game's adaptation of the popular anime, its graphics, character portrayal, and voice acting, while some point out issues with gameplay pacing or controls. Overall, the sentiment for Magic Knight Rayearth is overwhelmingly positive, with an 87% favorable rating from readers. The ranking provides insight into which games resonated most with the magazine's audience, beyond just commercial success. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, presenting the reader rankings for second and third place. At number 2 is the simulation game Graduation 2, Neo Generation. Readers largely provided positive feedback, highlighting the engaging story, charming characters, and overall polished presentation. While some found the simulation tasks a bit repetitive, the game received a strong 83% favorable rating. Holding the third position is the action RPG Shining Wisdom. Reader opinions were more divided on this title. Positive comments noted the appealing graphics and character designs, and the blend of action and puzzle solving. However, criticisms included a simplistic story, somewhat repetitive gameplay, and a clunky combat system, resulting in a less enthusiastic 46% favorable score. The page includes small screenshots showcasing gameplay from both titles. The next page continues the Ranking Street feature, showcasing games ranked 4 through 6 based on reader feedback. Coming in at number 4 is the fighting game Dark Legend. Readers felt it was a solid entry in the genre, particularly praising the diverse special moves for each character and the overall feel of the combat, though some noted complexity in its systems. Ranked 5th is Street Fighter, the movie, the fighting game based on the live-action film. Opinions were quite divided, While some appreciated the digitized characters and faithful inclusion of movie elements like Bison's move, others found the graphics inconsistent and the gameplay somewhat clunky compared to mainline Street Fighter titles. Long load times were also a point of criticism. Finally, at number 6 is from TV Animation's Slam Dunk, a fighting game based on the popular basketball anime. Readers enjoyed the unique concept and the distinct feel of the characters and their moves, capturing the spirit of the source material. However, some found the single-player content lacking and the AI not challenging enough. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, presenting games voted by readers from rank 7 to 12. Coming in at 7th place is Winning Post X, a detailed horse racing simulation. Readers appreciated the gameplay improvements and depth, though some found it slow or repetitive. Ranked 8th is Idol Mahjong, Final Romance 2. This Mahjong game appealed to fans with its character art and fan service elements, alongside the core Mahjong gameplay. 9th place goes to Fire Pro Gaiden, Blazing Tornado, a wrestling title. It was praised for capturing the feel of wrestling, although some players felt it lacked depth compared to other fighting games. 10th. In 10th is Gaku no Kawaii Uwasa, Hanako san Gakita, a horror-adventure game. Readers highlighted its spooky atmosphere and visuals, but were less impressed with repetitive minigames and QuickTime events. Finally, at 12th place is a shogi simulation game. Players commented on the challenge of the AI opponents and the straightforward nature of the interface. The page also includes general comments on the games that made the list, and a section recruiting readers to submit their own game reviews for a chance to win prizes, listing the titles expected to be covered in the next issue's reviews. This page ranks games 712 from reader votes, featuring horse racing, mahjong, wrestling, horror, and shogi titles, alongside calls for reader reviews. This page dives back into Ranking Street, this time presenting the overall Saturn popularity ranking as voted by readers, alongside a call for participation in the next poll and a ranking of desired ports. The popularity ranking is topped by Virtua Fighter 2, holding onto the number 1 spot with a significant lead. Virtua Cop and Street Fighter Alpha are close contenders, ranking 2nd and 3rd respectively. The commentary highlights how these established titles are performing strongly, while several new games have also made their debut on the list this month. Readers also share their voices of expectation and voices of hope, expressing excitement for upcoming titles like more updates to Virtua Fighter 2 and Tokimeki Memorial, while also listing games they desperately wish to see ported to the Saturn, such as Tekken, Ridge Racer, and Dragon Quest vs. The main feature is a large spread recruiting readers for the next popularity poll. It lists an extensive catalog of Saturn software released up to October 1995, organized by genre, serving as the eligible titles for voting. This comprehensive list includes everything from action and RPGs to simulation and sports games, inviting readers to pick their absolute favorites across various categories. Finally, there's a Saturn port request ranking, revealing which games readers most want to see arrive on the console, with titles like Tekken, Dokusei, and FFVI leading the charge. A small section also provides a brief update from a developer, specifically mentioning Virtua Striker. This page dives into the Conehead Club, a section dedicated to reader feedback and opinions. It's a lively space where fans share their thoughts on the Sega Saturn, games, and the direction of the magazine. Readers are weighing in on various topics, including potential expansions for the club, the desire for more substantial RPGs on the Saturn, with specific requests for ports of classics like Dragon Quest II and Final Fantasy VI. There's also a discussion about the anticipation for upcoming software, acknowledging that different players have different preferences. The Anime Room section celebrates anime adaptations, while the Port Fan Letter addresses the possibility of Neo Geo titles like Karnov's Revenge and Real Bout Fatal Fury making their way to the Saturn, alongside hopes for more classic game ports such as Night Striker and Metal Slug. The page includes some fun artwork, featuring a character resembling Sarah Bryant from Virtua Fighter, a character from Monster World IV, and illustrations related to anime and other game series like Tenchi Muyo and Homa Hunter Lime. Readers also discuss the status of Sega's AM2 division and the buzz surrounding virtual reality in games. There's even a mention of game-related music crids like Dancing Shadows and the Virtua Fighter Winner or Loser album. The next page features the Readers Present section, offering fans a chance to win some cool gear. Prizes include items related to various popular series like a Super Real Mahjong PV special phone card, a Golden Boy Premiere t-shirt, Shining Force 2 video campaign stickers, a Darkstalkers novel, Homa Hunter Lime fans, Tenchi Muyo / Yuki posters, Yusei Rin posters, a Compile Special Carbuncle plush, and Gunsmith Cats posters. The images show off some of these prizes and fan artwork, including characters from various anime and games. Further down, the page announces the Saturn Fan Magazine Photo CD contest. This is where readers can submit their original photographs to be featured on a photo CD. The contest encourages creativity and offers prizes like a Kodak portable photo CD player, a Sega Saturn photo CD operator, and a Panasonic Real Photo and Video CD adapter. The section shows images of these impressive prize machines, highlighting the cutting-edge technology of the time for displaying images. It's a great way for fans to share their passion beyond just gaming. This page introduces a new challenger to the Sega Saturn scene, Arc System Works. In their new challenger's profile and project feature, it highlights their diverse game development experience, noting their start on 32-bit platforms with their own brand. They are a new third-party developer for Saturn, previously working as an OEM, debuting with titles on PlayStation first. Their upcoming Saturn project is Wizard's Harmony, described as a training/racing simulation game. The article also mentions their PlayStation title Exector, a 3D mech shooting game. The text touches on their development philosophy and company atmosphere. Additionally, this page features a special original CD jacket for Golden Axe, The Duel, as a bonus item. Collaborating with Sega M1, the magazine is offering this exclusive jacket featuring the game's music BGM. The image shows the iconic Golden Axe, the Duel logo and character artwork, including the fearsome Death Adder, along with other fighters from the game. There's a simple guide on how to cut out the jacket and insert it into a CD case to create a custom music CD featuring the game's tracks. A track list for the BGM is also included on the jacket design. This page kicks off with a look at never-before-seen illustrations for Golden Axe, The Duel, featured on the back of the magazine's bonus CD jacket. These striking designs show characters bearing a resemblance to Gilius and Teres in unique forms, alongside action screenshots from the game and artwork of the notorious Death Adder. The bulk of the page, however, is dedicated to a rapid-fire preview of 7 upcoming Sega Saturn games we're keeping an eye on. The lineup is diverse, featuring the idol-raising simulation Birth Size, the strategic sci-fi title Quo Vadis, the beloved theme park management game Theme Park, the cyberpunk adventure Snatcher, the fantasy RPG Albert Odyssey Side Story, the intense fighting game Galaxy Fight, and the mahjong title Super Real Mahjong Graffiti. The idol sim Birth Size receives particular focus, promising enhanced graphics and events as it makes its debut on the Saturn platform. This page delves deeper into the idol-raising simulation game Birthless, focusing on the player's role as a manager tasked with turning 3 girls who failed their initial auditions into stars. The core gameplay involves controlling their schedules, balancing lessons, rest, and work to improve their stats and manage their moods and physical condition. The page highlights new features for the Sega Saturn version, including additional systems and events not found in other releases, such as a system that determines the manager's ability type based on initial questions. It showcases enhanced event graphics, comparing original illustrations to the game's computer graphics, and emphasizes the improved quality. Character profiles for the 3 main idols are presented, detailing their personalities, stats, and aspirations, alongside character artwork. The game now features 2 character songs for each of the main idols and rival characters, adding more musical depth. The opening animation is also discussed, with original keyframes shown, promising a dynamic and engaging introduction unique to the Saturn version. The article also mentions the addition of numerous events specific to the Saturn release, such as CM shoots, interviews, concerts, and even visiting the girls when they are sick or injured. This page dives into Quo Vadis, an SF simulation RPG set in the vastness of space, making it the first of its kind on the Sega Saturn. Players take on the role of a commander, leading forces in tactical space battles, while the game incorporates RPG elements to deepen the experience. The developers put a strong emphasis on storytelling, with roughly half the game dedicated to a narrative exploring themes of camaraderie, love, and courage, delivered through various dialogue scenes, and a dedicated story mode. The game boasts an impressive staff lineup, featuring notable creators like the character designer Ira and mech designer Kazutaka Miyatake, known for their work on classic space operas like Yamato and Macross. The voice cast is equally high profile, including popular actors like Hikaru Midorikawa and Megumi Hayashibara, among others, adding to the replayability. Quo Vadis employs a multi-ending system with 4 planned outcomes, including a special original anime sequence exclusively for the best ending. The page also showcases character artwork for key figures like Hal Valanchin, Wolf Drexel, and others, highlighting the game's visual style. Screenshots display both the tactical space battles and event scenes, giving a glimpse into the game's presentations. It's positioned as a title focused on the strategic battle system and depth. This page breaks down the simulation mode, which is the strategic heart of Quo Vadis. It explains the game flow transitions from the story mode into the simulation mode, which is further divided into intermission, map movement, and battle phases. During the intermission, you get into the nitty-gritty of fleet management. First, you decide your fleet's formation from various types like attack, balance, or speed, each impacting your fleet's capabilities. Next, you select your ships from 7 distinct types, ranging from battle cruisers and carriers to smaller gunships and crucial supply ships, noting how their stats and placement within the formation are key. Finally, you assign captains to ships. The game features a substantial roster of 33 captains, each with unique stats that significantly boost their assigned ship's performance, adding another layer of strategic depth to your fleet composition. The page then moves on to the operational phase, describing the transition to the hex-based map for fleet movement. A key feature highlighted is the simultaneous movement system. Both your fleet and the enemy move at the same time, requiring foresight and prediction of enemy actions. Once fleets engage, the action transitions to the battle screen. Battles also proceed simultaneously, with fleets exchanging fire based on range and positioning. The game uses 3D graphics for dramatic combat sequences, showing missiles, beams, and explosions. Strategic elements like flanking and managing ship damage, which reduces combat effectiveness, are vital for victory in these dynamic space engagements.